So my plan is to mount these underneath the table, all the way in the corners, against the table and the skirting board of the wall to brace the bottom of the legs, and then to use these 90-degree solid steel brackets to go and brace the top of the bench against a stud on each side of the desk. So there'll be 4 mounting points. There'll be 2 mounting points at the top of the desk, so one here and one behind the monitor stand. And then 2 below the desk in each corner, so one over there and one over there to secure the bottom of the desk to the skirting board. And hopefully that'll reduce the wobble quite a lot. We'll find out soon. So let's have a look. So about the wobble again and the quality of the microscope camera. As you can see, things are pretty good. The CP2004 slightly out here, but pretty close, small nudge. Pico D4 is almost spot on. I'm not going to go through and fix everything now, but as you can see, there's pretty much no parts. Maybe I need to move that cap just there. It's pretty close. Once again, oh, we've got a 90-degree. So we get these 90-degree ones. Sometimes it's just the vision system not picking the part up properly, which is a bit annoying. But from a repeatability point of view, everything is looking pretty good. Look at that. So, very little nudging I need to do. I have to go through thoroughly. I'm just doing a quick scan right now, obviously. There's another 90-degree resistor just there. Just pick them up and rotate them. I'm not quite sure what that is. But look at the consistency now. And the CP2104 seems to be slightly off everywhere. But like I wouldn't even bother moving that one because that's just going to realign itself under reflow. Pico D4 is looking great. Okay, that one's need to be nudged a little bit, maybe. Oops, too far. Another 90-degree resistor. Different one this time. But look at that. How's that for repeatability? I'm super happy with that. Even the charge ICs everywhere are sitting pretty much in the right spot. So how did I solve this? Well, some of it was the wobble. Sure, I'm not going to say that it wasn't. Thank you to everyone in the comments that keep pushing and pushing about the wobble being a factor. But what also happened was I found some secret settings in the software and had to play with 3 particular values. Actually 4 particular values. So I had to play with how fast and how much suction there is through the vacuum for holding the part on the nozzles. I also had a play with, so I've increased that. I've also increased the blow value. So when the nozzle places a part down, when it lets go of it, it blows air out and pushes it down into place. Ooh, it's another rotated resistor just there. And pushes it in place. So I increased the blow percentage as well. I also increased the amount of time that it held the part there for before it pulled the head away. So I've doubled that amount of time. So like when the head comes down, it stops, holds it in place, blows and lifts up. And the last thing I increased was the amount of time it spends when it's picking up the part. So instead of just stabbing down at the part to grab it, it holds for a fraction longer to ensure it's got the part in place before it starts moving. I don't think that particular setting itself will have much of a factor, because by the time it gets to the vision system, it can fix anything that's gone wrong, except for the complete 90-degree rotations here, which is a bit bizarre. So between all those different settings, I've now got a pretty damn good placement. I mean, there's always going to be little tiny things to nudge. You look at the little P&P transistor there, that needs to be nudged in place. So I wasn't prepared just to leave it at that, even though the results speak for themselves. I've noticed that there's still a little bit of wobble on the table, and it turns out that the last bit of wobble is actually because of the carpet and the cushioning and slight movement. If I put a lot of weight and brace the table when the pick and place is running, then most of that wobble goes away, but it's far better than what it was. But I don't believe the wobble really had a lot to do with anything, because I have done some further tweaking. I've been playing around with the speed of the vacuum even more, and I have switched to a different size nozzle for the small parts. I'm using a 502 size nozzle, which is designed for 0402s, instead of the 500 size nozzle that's got 2 little suction holes in it that people on the pick and place forums have had much better results with on 0402. It turns out that my spinning parts issue is to do with that particular nozzle, and moving to the 502 has fixed my weird rotations that you saw before. And I've managed to tune the pick and place even more, to the point where I discovered that I could do this. Okay, I've got a panel here that's got all the smalls on it. Might be a bit hard to see, but they're all on there. I am going to run the bigs at the moment, and I'm going to try something that I have not tried before. This is a first. It might succeed, it might fail, I don't know, but whatever happens, it's on video. Here we go. It's going to step through the first few. That, we've placed the antenna and the USB with the rest of the bigs. We'll step again. So what I'm doing, you might be able to see, is picking up the antenna at the end of it rather than in the middle. I've worked out how to grab it at an offset spot and then realign it. Oh, that might have worked, the tape. I'm going to run. Holy moly. I can see the USB over here didn't sit quite right. But otherwise, let me see if I can get closer. Look at that. That is a whole panel done. I still need to go through and check all the positions of the small parts. Hopefully the stuff under the antennas are fine, but that just saved me about 15 minutes per board to put the USB and antennas on. Pretty cool, huh? How cool was that? So I can now assemble the entire board on my pick and place machine. I'm alleviating manual steps along the way, which is fantastic. It's reducing my time. And my current output now for building boards, like in panels, and then pulling them apart and testing them and getting them into a box to put the RAM on, so no RAM, I'm doing between 90 and 110 TinyPICOs a day. It's a very long day. I start early and I finish quite late, but how is that compared to the maybe 10 or maybe 16 I could have done by hand? Pretty crazy. So yes, I'm still swearing at the pick and place machine. There's still some weird things that happens with the tape pull and the tape either getting stuck or snapping or parts not advancing properly. But other than those things, which is pretty common across all pick and place machines, I'm actually getting some pretty decent output out of the machine, so I can't complain. Definitely wish I would have got one with more feeders though. I could have used it a lot in the last week for other things while it was sitting idle. But yes, oh well, maybe next pick and place machine. Cool, thank you all for watching. Thank you for pushing me to secure the bench for the pick and place machine to sit on. As I said, I don't know if it helped that much or not, but at least it's secure now, and I have got holes in the wall which I don't like, but I've done it. Don't forget to sub, don't forget to click the alarm bell if you're already subbed to get notified of my future videos, and to all my patrons, thank you very much. To all my new patrons, welcome, and until next time, catch you later, bye.